Hi everyone! In today's tutorial you'll learn how to crochet a 10 spiral petal flower. This flower is made in rows and then gathered in round in order to create the flower. This flower has 10 beautiful volumetric spiral petals. I made another the exact same flower in different color, more bright. If you wish to have a flower with more or less petals, you're more than welcome. For example, in this third flower, I made 12 petals instead of 10. The center of each flower you can embellish with a crochet button like I did, or you can just add a regular button, a bead, or leave it as it is with open center. Let's begin the work. For work, I'll be using space-dyed Angora yarn, a crochet hook, and a yarn needle. Begin the work by making a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the foundation chain. Now begin the first row and the first petal as well. So chain 1 to bring up the yarn. Now single crochet into the second stitch away from the hook. Now continue working in a row. Half double crochet into the next chain stitch. Then double crochet into the following chain stitch of the foundation chain. Now into the next chain stitch work 2 stitches. First double crochet and then treble crochet. Work into the same chain stitch. Continue treble crochet into the following chain stitch of the foundation chain. Now into the next stitch, treble crochet twice. One, and treble crochet once again into the same stitch, 2. Into the next stitch, double treble crochet. Yarn over the hook 3 times to work the double treble. And now we have 1 stitch left on the foundation chain. Into this chain stitch, I'll make the complex stitch, which later will be the foundation for the petal. To begin the complex stitch, yarn over the hook 4 times is to work the triple treble. Work it into the last chain stitch like you normally would until you have 2 loops on the hook. Do not complete this triple treble. Now hold 2 loops on the hook, yarn over the hook twice to begin the treble. Insert the hook into 2 bottom loops on the post of the triple treble we've just made, like this. Pull up a loop through and continue work the treble crochet stitch like you normally would until you have 3 loops on the hook. Then repeat the same. Into the same 2 loops, work unfinished treble. Work till you have 4 loops on the hook. Hold them, then yarn over the hook 3 times for double treble. Work into the same 2 loops on the post of triple treble stitch. And the same, do not complete this double treble stitch. Work till you have 5 loops on the hook. Now yarn over and pull through all 5 at once to complete the complex stitch. This complex stitch looks like a cluster and it will be the foundation for the spiral. The foundation for the first petal is ready. I remind you that I'm working on the first row and now I'll continue making the spiral. To create the spiral, you need to pay attention for the direction of work. First, I'll be working around the post of this double treble stitch of the complex stitch, then around the post of triple treble, then around the post of the second treble of the complex stitch, and finally around the first one. In the second row, I'll be moving backwards, working through the stitches we've created. Let's begin and see how to do it. So first, work around the post of double treble stitch. Under the post of this double treble, single crochet 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then single crochet 9 under the post of this triple treble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now to work the inner part of the spiral, continue under the post of the second treble. Under the post of this treble, single crochet 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Turn the work and single crochet 7 under the post of the other treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The first row is completed. Let's stop for a while and see what we have. You can clearly see the spiral already. Now I'll continue working through the stitches we've just made, moving away from the center, going around and around the spiral. So begin the second row. Chain 1 to bring up the yarn. Turn the work to see the reverse side of the stitches we've just made, and starting from the first stitch, single crochet into each single crochet of previous row. Work through the stitches of our spiral. So single crochet 32 in a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, continue, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, 23, continue, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. Now, before we continue, let's stop for a moment. Let me straight up all of the stitches like this. And here how our beautiful spiral looks like. It is ready. We still need to continue the second row and complete the first petal of our flower. So to continue, turn back to the reverse side and continue working through the following stitches of previous row. Now insert the hook into 2 loops of the next stitch, which is the complex stitch. Insert the hook into its 2 loops like this and single crochet through. Then I'll continue working into the back loop of each following stitch. Single crochet 9 in a row, and remember, work into the back loop of each following stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last single crochet 9. The second row is ready, as well as the first petal. As we worked on the back, let's turn to the front where we can see the spiral. So now we have completed the first spiral petal of our flower. It is made in 2 rows only. Now to continue the work, we need to crochet the second petal, which is the same as the first one. So we need to repeat row 1 and 2 once again. It is our pattern repeat. So to start the second petal, stay on the front and begin row 3, the same as row 1. Chain 1 to lower the yarn to reach the first row, and this row I'll be working through the free loops of the first row stitches. So single crochet into the first free loop on row 1. Then continue in a row, half double crochet into the next free loop. Then double crochet into the following free loop. Into the free loop of the next stitch, work 2 stitches, double crochet, and treble crochet into the same free loop. Then treble crochet into the next free loop. And now into the next free loop, treble crochet twice. 1 and 2. Into the free loop of the following stitch, double treble crochet. And now, as we did for the first petal, we need to make the complex stitch for the spiral. So work the same, yarn over the hook 4 times to begin the triple treble. Work it into the next free loop. Do not complete this stitch, stop when you have 2 loops on the hook. Hold 2 loops and begin the treble, inserting the hook into 2 bottom loops on the post of triple treble we've just made. Stop when you have 3 loops, then work treble into the same 2 loops till you have 4 loops on the hook. Then yarn over the hook 3 times for double treble, work into the same 2 loops, and the same, do not complete this double treble. When you have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 to complete the complex stitch. Here the complex stitch is ready, however not the 3rd row yet. You need to continue working the spiral. Follow the same instructions as for the first petal. Now to double check yourself, here on the back we have 1 free loop left on row 1. That means we've done all correctly. Now continue, start the spiral and then work row 4, the same as we did the second one. Make as many petals for your flower as needed, following the same instructions. For my flower I made 10 petals. I remind you that flower is worked in rows, and the pattern repeat for this flower is the first 2 rows. You can make more or less petals for your flower. Like in this white and green flower, I made 2 more petals. There are 12 petals in total, and it is a bit bigger. So now let me show you how to complete the flower. For this, we need to join the first and the last petals together. Once we complete the last row working on the back, the last stitch is a single crochet worked into the back loop. Now continue chain 1 to lower the yarn and work a slip stitch into the chain stitch we made to start the row before the previous one. Like this. We're done crocheting the flower. Now you can cut off the yarn, leaving the tail long enough to make a joining seam. Pull the tail through the stitch to secure the end. Now I'll continue working with a yarn needle to make the joining here on the back. With the yarn needle, I'm working through the free loops of our last petal. Here they are, and through the chain stitches of the foundation chain of the very first petal. Here they are. I remind you we're working on the back, so insert the needle into the first free loop of the last petal and then into the first chain stitch of the first petal and sew them together in this way. And for the next stitch, work into the next free loop and the next chain stitch. Keep working in this way till the end of the row. The seam is ready. Here on the last petal, there should be 1 free loop left. Here it is. This is the back of the flower, and here is the front. This is the 10-petal flower. To the center of this flower, I'm planning to add the crocheted button. You can find the tutorial on how to crochet this button in the Crochet Elements folder. I will just sew it to the center with the needle as well. Flower is very beautiful and fun to crochet as made in rows. This is the exact same flower in different color. It has 10 petals as well. I have another same flower but with more petals. There are 12 of them in this flower. You can crochet 9, 10, 11, 12 petals in your flower. It's up to you. The center of each flower you can embellish with a crochet button like I did, or you can just add a regular button, a bead, or leave it as it is with open center. Thank you so much for watching, and don't miss our next projects.